Hello, welcome to Extension Network. My name is Zoe, and I'm Family and Consumer Sciences Agent here in Cobb County Extension Services. Today I'm going to talk to you about back to school lunches. So it's that time of the year, children are back in school, and parents are trying to juggle work, activities, and deciding what to pack for lunch. Eating healthy, nutritious foods has been shown to improve school performance and social behaviors. When packing your children's lunch, try to include foods from each food group of My Plate. General recommendation per food group for boys and girls is 1 to 2 cups of fruits, 1.5 to 3 cups of vegetables, 4 to 6.5 ounces of protein, 5 to 8 ounces of grains, and 2.5 and 3 servings of dairy. For grains, you can include whole grain bread for your sandwiches. For protein, you can use lean meats or nut butters. For whole grains, you can also use whole grain cereals or popcorn for your snack. And then for dairy, you can include low-fat yogurt or string cheese. Today, I'm going to show you several different options that you can pack for your kids for lunch, and some options you can actually involve your kids in preparation. But before we do that, I'm going to review some different products that you can pack for lunch and the healthier options. So we are going to be making different wraps, and I have 2 different wraps here, flour tortilla and whole grain tortilla. So to make it a healthier option for your kids for lunch, you want to make sure that you're using whole grain tortilla. And the way to choose whole grains is, you can of course go by the front, but the only right way is to choose whole grains is to look on the ingredient list, and the first ingredient has to be a whole wheat or whole grain. So for our tortillas, the first ingredient is whole wheat flour. So these are the tortillas that we will be making for our lunches. Then for fruit options, you can always use whole fruit, or you can use full fruit cups or dried fruit. So all of them are equivalent to your serving of fruit. And here I have 2 different options of diced peaches. One is no sugar added, and one is in flavored syrup. So which one do you want to include for your kids' lunch? Of course, we'll want to do no sugar added. And just for comparison, no sugar added has 6 grams of sugar versus the one in light syrup has 18 grams of sugar. And these are the same exact peaches. They both are yellow, clean diced peaches. One no sugar added and one in light syrup. So you want to choose the one that's no sugar added. Also choose for your drink, you can also choose 100% juice. So the 100% juice, it will count as a drink, but it also counts as a serving of fruit for your kids, or you can choose the healthiest option, go with the water. So now I'm going to make several different options of wraps that you can make. And the first one that we are going to make will be turkey and cheese. And it's a plain wrap that just has turkey and cheese. And we are going, for our spread, we're going to use mayo and mustard. So we'll mix it up so you're not using just mayo. So you take a wrap, and then you lightly spread with mayo, and then lightly spread with mustard. Oops. And then you just want to make sure it's spread evenly. And this is something that kids can help you, and that way they feel that they actually participated in the preparation, and they're actually more likely to eat what they make. And then for our meat protein option, we're using oven roasted turkey breast. So it's one of the options that I mentioned earlier. And then we're using provolone cheese that counts as your dairy. So it's something quick and easy, and then you just roll it up and cut in slices, in pieces. And then I'm using these simple containers that I actually found at the dollar store, and it's 2-pack for $1, and it has separation, so it's a great way to pack your kids' lunches. So you can put your wraps in there. On one side. So I'm actually going to pack a whole lunch. And then you can include veggie sticks. So we'll use some celery, some peppers. And then you can also buy reusable small containers that you can put ranch or peanut butter, whatever dips you're using for your lunch. So this is one of the easy lunch options that you can prepare for your kids for school. So we have turkey, cheese, tortilla wrap, veggies with ranch, and then we can add one of our no sugar added fruit cups. And then we can include 100% juice. So this lunch has your whole grain for your tortilla wrap. It has protein for your lean turkey. It has dairy for your cheese. You get your veggies and you get your fruit. So you're actually including all 5 food groups in this lunch. And what makes a healthy lunch or a healthy meal in general is a meal that includes at least 3 different food groups. So the next wrap that I'm going to make is, we call it rainbow wrap. I'm actually going to wipe my cutting board. So the rainbow wrap, we use, again, whole wheat tortilla. And then for our spread, we're going to use hummus. And hummus is actually a great alternative for protein as well. So we'll use hummus for our spread. And this is red pepper, roasted red pepper hummus. But you can use any flavor hummus that you like or that your kid likes. So we spread hummus. Then we'll use some spinach. Add some spinach. That will be our green color. And the more colorful, the better. So we'll spread some spinach. We'll add some red peppers. We'll add some yellow peppers. Some shredded carrots. And some purple shredded cabbage. And then again, you just wrap it the same way. And then your hummus also acts as a glue. I'm going to wipe my knife. I'm using the same knife. And then, yeah, your hummus acts as a glue, so it will like stick all the veggies together to the tortilla. And again, you want to cut it up. And the reason we call it rainbow wrap, because look, it's all pretty and colorful. Again, we'll use one of our containers. We'll put on one side our veggie wrap. And then for this lunch option, I'm adding a string cheese. And then I'm actually going to use a whole fruit, but I'm going to show you a trick whole apple, but I'm going to show you a trick how to keep a whole apple from getting brown. So you get the whole apple, you dice it and slice it into 6 pieces. Whoops, my pieces fell apart. You kind of want to keep it all together so it's easy to do what I'm about to show you. And then you take a rubber band, and you actually want to wash the rubber band beforehand. And you put your rubber band around your apple. And here you go. You have a whole apple, but it's already pre-sliced for your kid, and the rubber band will prevent it from browning. So in this one, we have a whole wheat tortilla for our grain. We have a bunch of veggies for our vegetables. We have hummus for our protein. We have string cheese for our dairy, and then we have a cup of fruit, a whole fruit. And then you can use less sugar pouch, or you can use water. So this is a second option of easy lunch that you can do. And then the last wrap that I'm going to show you is peanut butter and banana wrap. So we get our tortilla. We have peanut butter, so you want to spread peanut butter evenly. And if your kid is allergic to peanut butter, you can use any nut butter, actually. Doesn't have to be peanut butter. It's kind of hard to spread it evenly, but I guess you have to do your best. And again, all of these recipes are so easy to make that you can actually have your child make it. That also teaches them sense of responsibility. So we spread our peanut butter, we peel our banana, and then you can just, I'm gonna slightly even it. You put your banana in the center, and again you wrap it, and then again your peanut butter acts as a glue, so it keeps your banana and your tortilla together. So this is a great alternative to your peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Again, you use the same container. You can put your wrap. And then for this one, we will use, again, some celery sticks with peppers. And for our dipping sauce, instead of ranch, we'll actually use hummus this time. Hummus. And then with this one, you can also, as I mentioned, low-fat yogurt or string cheese is a great dairy alternative. So we can send it with a cup of yogurt and that. So in this one, we get your whole wheat tortilla for your grains, banana for your fruit, veggies for your veggies, and hummus is extra protein. So peanut butter is protein as well. And then you can use low-fat yogurt for your dairy and protein. And then you can send it with low sugar Kool-Aid. So once the lunches are ready, oh, and I forgot to mention, in all of these I used tortillas, I used vegetables, deli meat, cheese, hummus, peanut butter. So all of these are great because with the same product, I was able to mix and match and make different things. So your child won't be bored with eating same thing every day. You can use peanut butter for your apples to dip, or you can use peanut butter to make your peanut butter wrap. You can use your hummus for your rainbow wrap, or you can use your hummus for your kid to dip their vegetables in. And then the meat and turkey you just make your sandwich, wrap, and it's something different. So once the food is done, what do we want to make sure to do that our food is safe? We all know that we want to keep our cold food cold and hot food hot. But sometimes it's difficult when refrigeration or heating device is not always available. And I'm not sure if most schools do have heating devices or refrigeration. But you want to make sure that most of the food is kept at 40 degrees that most food, cold food is kept cold and hot food hot. And bacteria multiply rapidly in warm, moist foods in temperatures between 40 degrees to 140 degrees. So that's the temperature danger zone. And most food can actually be held safely in that zone for up to 2 hours. But what can you do when the food you're keeping it more than 2 hours? You can always use ice packs. These are very convenient, and some of the school lunch boxes actually come with ice packs. You can use this kind of ice pack, or you can use, it's called ice pack blanket, and you can like mold it the way you want it. You can actually break it up into pieces. So you want to make sure that you're including ice pack in your kids' lunches if you're sending cold food. And if you're sending hot food, you can use thermos. Unfortunately, I don't have a thermos to show you. And you can also, another great idea, you can actually also freeze your kids' juice box, water, or Kool-Aid, and then by the lunchtime, it will thaw. So they will have a drink that they can drink, but they also have something that will keep their food cold. Thank you for watching Extension Network, and if you have any questions or if you want any ideas for school lunches or even any ideas how to encourage your child to eat healthy, you can always call our office, ask for Zoe, or if Zoe's not here, you can always send me an email. Our office is always open. You can always stop by our office, and we'll see you next time.
The land-grant university system was created to advance agricultural and mechanical sciences 150 plus years ago. And we realized that some of the research that was coming from out of the land grants, it was not reaching the people. So the Smith-Lever Act was passed 100 years ago. The purpose of that act was to create the Cooperative Extension Service, which was to take the research that was created by the land-grant universities and actually give it to the people who could use it.
And so that was the genesis for the creation of the Extension Service, or the Cooperative Extension Service, as it was called at that time. It was to take the research-based information from the university, from that land-grant school, and get it to the people who need it so that they could use it to improve their lives, their economy, and to improve agriculture.
Well, I lived on a farm until I went off to be in the Navy and to go to college. And my father was a very fine and aggressive farmer. And of course, the source of our advice when Daddy wanted to do something better or learn about a new species of peanut or cotton or corn was to go to the Extension Service. And they gave him whatever advice he needed. And it was just like a constant source of inspiration and advice and counsel and sometimes correction when he was doing something wrong. And as I grew older and when I came back from the Navy and spent the next 17 years as a full-time farmer, I saw firsthand the great value of what the Extension Service offered to everyone in our county, not just farmers, but everybody in the merchants and others who did business with farmers and depended on agricultural income.
My earliest experience with the Cooperative Extension Service came as a result of joining the 4-H Club when I was probably in a middle school age group. They encouraged us to participate in competitions, and we had to learn our various project areas and make presentations in the local and the district competitions. And also, I began to show livestock as a part of my 4-H project and continued to do that for a number of years. So the Cooperative Extension Service and its supervision of 4-H was an important part of my younger years.
I serve Fulton County. It's a large county. We don't have that many farmers, but we have a lot of people. And we have a lot of families that just simply need help. So Extension brings that human touch to our community. We answer the questions directly. We give it to you in a manner that you can understand and you can use, and you can apply it immediately. So Extension is kind of like that friend next door. You may not talk to them every day, but you're really glad that they're there.
One of the advantages that we have is that we're always on the cutting edge of the newest information, the newest research that's coming out of the University of Georgia. And we are a direct source that our clients can come to find that information. We're a filter for that information, and we are able to explain it in a way that people can use it for practical everyday application, whether it's on the farm, in their families, or in their communities.
An increasingly important element of Georgia's and America's total production of food will have to be designed toward meeting the needs of our own country and other nations more than it has been in the past. So I think the gamut of influence of Extension Service, I don't think has been minimized in recent modern days, but I think the opportunities to expand the influence has been greatly increased now and I believe in the future.
I think the future for cooperative extension across the nation is very strong, and I know in our state it is.
The simple problems in agriculture have been solved, and they've been solved for the last 100 years or so. Only complex problems remain. Our researchers on our land-grant universities working in multidisciplinary teams will provide solutions for these complex and complicated problems. But how you transfer that information back to the farmer, back to the agribusiness, back to the family or the youth development specialists through 4-H is going to be very different. That's where cooperative extension has always been good. That's what their strength is, and that's where we see them being so important in the future.
We're continuing to see evolution in the production of agricultural products, and I expect that to continue. We will probably have fewer farms, but larger farms. And the Cooperative Extension Service certainly has a role to play in that new structure. They've adapted very well to the changing circumstances and the changing economy of our country over the last 100 years, and I have every reason to believe that they will continue to do that here in Georgia for the next 100 years.
The most rewarding part of my job is being able to help people and provide current research-based information for our clients. They come to us over and over for that information because they see us as the #1 source of information that they can rely upon, whether it's for their farm, their agribusiness, or for their families.
Real life changes. Extension brings real life changes, and being that agent in the community on the ground, being that agent to serve is a pretty miraculous thing.
In all the ways that I had an early developmental life in earning a living and learning how to live as a productive citizen, I would say the Extension Service had a major beneficial effect on me.
As the temperatures are rising and the weather's warming up, we just wanted to remind everyone never to leave your child alone in the vehicle, unattended or intentionally when you're going inside the store. A lot of times when there's a routine change or something's different in someone's normal schedules, that's when a child can be forgotten and left in the vehicle alone. And unfortunately, we've already experienced one death to a child from hypothermia by being left in the car since January. Typically, we have an average of about 37 children who die yearly from hyperthermia of being left in those vehicles. Half of those children were left unintentionally, meaning that they were forgotten. Those routines were changed, and the parents simply just did not realize that the child was in the back that could have been sleeping. To be mindful of that, and some reminders that we would like for parents to take into place is to put those something in the back of their vehicle, like a purse or their briefcase, something that's going to remind them to look back there before they exit the vehicle for the day, so that they can realize that that child's back there. They could be sleeping. They could have been quiet. Again, that routine has changed, so they weren't realizing that the child was still back there. Placing that purse back there makes you physically have to go back there, open the back door, realize that the child's there, and it won't be left unattended. Also, a lot of times we don't realize that children, especially those children under the age of 1, do not have the mechanisms to cool themselves down like we do. Children's body core temperature rises at a rate of 3 to 5 times faster than what it would for us. So a typical normal day outside, for us, it might not be that bad. For a child, it's going to be even worse. In the truck behind me, we have placed a remote thermometer, so you can see the difference in the internal vehicle temperature versus the outdoor temperature, and you can see that there's a large difference in those temperatures. It can be anywhere from 15 to 20 degrees sometimes, and that rate of which the temperature's increasing inside the vehicle is a lot faster than what's increasing outside. In addition, a lot of parents think, oh, well, I'll roll down the windows, or I'm just going in the store for a minute or two. Something that just the general public can do if they do witness that there's a child left in the vehicle unattended is dial 911 immediately. Don't wait for that parent to come back out of the store. Go ahead and stand next to the vehicle, dial 911, get that emergency response on the way, because those temperatures are going to keep on increasing rapidly. Lastly, just set some sort of a reminder maybe at your desk for those days where it's a changed routine, so that you're realizing, did you drop your child off at the daycare? Did you leave them with a care provider? You can also sometimes set up a reminder with the care provider that if they don't see you arrive by a certain time, maybe they can give you a phone call as well. If you'd like any other information on never leave your child alone in the car or any other safety tips, please visit our website at www.safekidscobbcounty.org.
In 1990, in Severn, Maryland, the daughter of a clergyman was discovered by a music industry insider while pumping gas at a service station. The odds of her getting signed and spending 11 weeks at #1 on the U.S. singles charts? 1 in 19 million. The odds of this former church choir singer going on to sell 40 million records? 1 in 15 million. The odds of the same woman winning 6 Grammy Awards and starring in 2 Broadway plays? 1 in 75 million. The odds of this musician and performer having a child diagnosed with autism? 1 in 110. I'm Toni Braxton, and I encourage you to learn the signs of autism at autismspeaks.org. Early diagnosis can make a lifetime of difference.